There was a widespread expectation that Steve Bruce would be relieved of his duties pretty much almost instantaneously after the takeover. It isn't the case. He is in charge here today. It is understood that PIF has yet to make a confirmed decision surrounding Steve Bruce and that situation. Do you think, Jonathan, perhaps he should be given a chance to prove himself under the new regime?
I think he should be, but I'm not sure that he will be. First of all, Steve Bruce, 1,000 games as a manager has been absolutely fantastic. It shows how successful he's been with the longevity in the game. Hopefully he gets more time. You'd like to think so. I'd like to see a British manager getting a load of money and going and spending it wisely and having a crack, having a real go at it. I'd like to think so, but I'm not too sure on that. I think the fans have really got to him. I think some of the abuse he's had has been absolutely deplorable, to be honest with you. It's been horrendous for him. He said in an interview recently that he's glad that his parents aren't alive to see it, because he's had it from every single angle. It's not been on really. It's not good for the game, and it's not good for Steve Bruce.
Why do you think he does get those sort of abuse, Jonathan? Because I understand that he's following up after Rafa Benitez, someone that Newcastle fans really look up to highly at some point, looking at him almost like a messiah at Newcastle. But when you break it down, their achievements at Newcastle, their statistics, their metrics, their playing style, there's really not too much difference between those two, Jonathan. But yet it seems to be chalk and cheese in terms of the perception of Rafa and the perception of Steve Bruce.
I think because they were that much in love with Rafa Benitez, to be honest with you. And I don't think the majority wanted Steve Bruce at the time. And then it only takes a few bad results and then the fans get on your back. I went to the Leeds-Newcastle game earlier on in the season and that was tough. Leeds went 1-0 up and you could hear the boos in the ground, and it was a good job Newcastle got to 1-1 before half-time, because the fans had gone absolutely crazy. He doesn't deserve the abuse that he's getting, that's for sure.
Michelle, what do you think? I mean, he's highly unpopular with the fans. Do you think he can turn things around?
To be honest, I don't think so. Also because of what Jonathan just said. I think from the moment he came in, they weren't really happy with him, you know, and obviously the results are not good enough as well. And the pressure will always be on the manager. And if something like this happens with the takeover, fans, people want to see bigger names as a manager, and thinking that they can change everything around. But I don't think it's that easy though. But I think for him at the moment, it's been very, very hard and harsh on him as well. But I think if you look at the future, I don't see him staying there for too long, to be honest.
Do you rate him as a manager then, Michelle? Because like Jonathan said, there's 1,000 games in his managerial career, but in his career in Newcastle, Michelle, how do you think he's done in general? How do you rate him?
It's been with ups and downs, I think, you know, and I don't know exactly how much percentage wins or lose, but it's you know, it's been very tough years, the last few years, obviously with COVID going on as well. But I think as a, you know, the way he shows himself towards for me in front of the camera as well. I think he's doing well. You know, he presents himself very well, and obviously you always will the results. That's the only thing that matters. And I think at the moment the place is where they at, and the pressure is on him. And I think especially with the takeover now, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard for him to stay there.
Well, it does seem like the future is pretty bleak for Steve Bruce from this perspective at Newcastle United. Do you think perhaps, Jonathan, that he should resign first instead of, you know, getting the sack, so to speak? Do you think he should leave the job?
No chance. Absolutely no chance. And he's not going to do that, and so he shouldn't do that. He should never do that. Steve Bruce is a manager, like I say, 1,000 games. Why should he do that? He was given the job. He wants to give it a go. He wants to keep on there. They've got... With the new investors who've come in, the richest people in the world with billions of pounds, why is he going to resign from his job? There's no point in doing that at all.
Well, will tonight be pivotal in that decision, Jonathan, and whether he will be in the job again next week?
I'm not so sure. You can't read what they're going to do. All the press was saying before that he was going to get sacked as soon as they came in. He hasn't, so who knows what they're going to do. They're obviously going through a procedure and looking at different aspects and different managers they're looking at, or do they keep with Steve Bruce? Who knows what they're going to do, but they're doing the due diligence of what they're looking to do. So let's see. I think the next 40 hours, something will happen maybe.
Michelle, I mean, since both of you don't think that he will last in this job, what sort of managers should they be targeting? This profile of managers that they should get, Michelle?
Now, the thing is, for me, like you can have a lot of money, but making the right decisions starts obviously from above. And I think as a club at Newcastle, with the fans they have, and it's a great club, but you need to find if they sack Bruce, the right manager, how they want to play. I mean, like, it needs to have a whole layout of style of play and what they're looking for, but that will take time as well. So it's not as easy, but people think, there's money now, and just get a big name and sign some players. I remember when QPR years ago tried to do similar things, and they end up relegating. So the decisions they're gonna take, I think they need some time. That's why I also think that they're not gonna sack Steve Bruce now. But it's not as easy what people think.
Do you think an interim manager would be then the first step after this, Jonathan? Or do you think they'll take their time, keep Steve Bruce until they find the right profile of manager that they want on a permanent?
Yeah, an interim manager is just ridiculous, really. They need to stay with Steve Bruce and decide what they're going to do. There's no point in doing that whatsoever. It just defeats the object. Firstly, they need to sort of the infrastructure of the club. A sporting director helps to get the manager and get the right manager in, and then they work together. I think that'll happen before they put a manager in charge. I think they'll bring a sporting director in first. The recruitment has to be right in this process. The billions and billions of money, but you can't just keep on throwing it down the drain. You need to get the right players in at the right age and then build. This isn't going to be a 24-hour job. It's 2 years or whatever, 3 years. This is going to be like 7 or 8, 9 years. It's a really difficult league, and for Newcastle now to get up there, it's going to take time. It really is.